I was in high school, my friends and I had a tradition where we would see a movie and then eat at the 24-hour diner across the street. A movie called The World's End had come out, and a group of my friends and I saw it twice in theaters. Later on, one more of my friends still hadn't seen it, so a few of us were like, why not? We'll see it for a third time. I'm a pretty big movie fan, but it's pretty rare for me to see a movie 3 times in theaters. And I mean, The World's End is great, but it's definitely not a Revenge of the Sith or Infinity War kind of movie. But still, my friend hadn't seen it yet, and based on our recommendation, he really wanted to see it with us. So off we went, watching The World's End for the 3rd time. You know, when movies first come out, they're always shown on the best screen, with epic sound and super cushy seats. But at this point, it was the last week before it stopped showing in theaters. And when that happens, movies get demoted to the worst theater in the very back corner with the smallest screen and budget seats. Oh, and to top it off, the only showing left was at 10:30 at night. At this point, most people would probably take a look at all of this and go, nah, I think I'll watch one of the top dollar brand new movies instead. 1 ticket for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, please. But like the characters in The World's End, we too were on a mission to reach the world's end. So off we went to our 10:30 showing. We get there and the movie theater is packed. Kids were screaming, ready to see their 10:15 showing of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. You could see in their parents' eyes their souls had left their bodies for the grueling experience that awaited them. The employee punched our tickets and pointed in the direction of Theater 20. Rowing through the sea of sugar-induced children, we went where she said. But in all my days, I've never been in Theater 20. I thought that place was a myth. And as we make our way to the darkened corner of the hallway, we see a dimly lit sign of The World's End. As we entered the small theater, we take a look around, up all the aisles. Not a single other person was in there. So, being the rambunctious teenagers we were, while waiting for the movie to start, we began sprinting around the entire theater, racing each other for the best lap times, diving over the torn up seats, hoping a spring doesn't pop out and blind us for life. We each took turns as lookout to make sure if a rando started to walk in, we could give the signal to resume acting like civilized people. But to all of our amazement, it never happened. We were the only people to buy a ticket for the final showing of The World's End. My friends and I each took our own row to ourselves. We kicked back and hopped around to different seats during the movie, and for the 3rd time, we were all laughing our heads off just as much as the first. Once the screen went dark, we began to leave our theater. We made our way back to the lobby and all noticed something strange. It was quiet. Too quiet. Not a single other person was in this movie theater. We all looked at each other and had the same thought. Is this The World's End? Where is everybody? Not 2 hours earlier, there were at least 50 people in this lobby and probably 6 employees. And now here we are. Just us. We began whispering to each other, asking where everyone went, wondering if the employees had forgotten that 4 rambunctious teenagers had been on the other side of the world in Theater 20. It was then that we heard it. A very ominous sound. The kind that makes you think, I'm about to be murdered by a carnivorous clown. We start looking around frantically as we hear carnival music start to play. Now, logically, one would think, someone must be pulling a prank on us. But no! Our brains had checked out about an hour into the movie, and all we had to work with was teenage brain at 12:30 a.m. So we start to panic and begin moving far away from where we thought the source of the sound was coming from. The only problem was, the carnival music was near the theater exit! At this point, I began calling out for an employee, hoping someone would hear me. Hey! Our movie's over! Is anyone still here? Who turned on the carnival music? Help! My friend decided to be brave, or, in my opinion, decided to be the first person to die in the horror movie we accidentally walked into. He decided to head toward the sound. My friends and I said our final goodbyes, as we expected to hear him get eaten in a matter of seconds. Then he turns the corner, and all we hear is, "What the heck? Guys, check this out! We rush over and find ourselves at the arcade section of the theater. All of the games are turned off except one. A clown carnival game where you drop balls into holes. We all started laughing that this derpy game had scared us, but we still wondered why it randomly decided to turn on at 12:30 a.m. I started shouting for an employee again before we left. All right, we're gonna leave now. Do you want us to lock the doors or something? Once again, no response. As we exited the theater, I closed the door and tried the handle. It wouldn't open. We all said our goodbyes and quickly left, just to make sure we didn't get murdered by a carnivorous clown. Man, I love seeing movies, but that time kind of freaked me out. I think the employees, it'd be pretty funny if they were hiding in the back, watching us on the cameras, freaking out. They turned on the carnival game to make it even worse. Who knows? But yeah, it's been years since that happened, so I don't know. I don't think they would even remember if I asked them about it. Cool. Well, see you later.